Good evening and welcome. Tonight we will be going over the history and geography of Çanakkale in Turkey. It's a pretty interesting province here because it includes not just this area on Anatolia, but also this peninsula that's on Thrace. Very famously, cool geography fact, Thrace is in Europe, Anatolia is in Asia. This might be the first time in this series that we've covered an area that's located on two continents. I'm not sure. Between these two land masses is the Dardanelles Strait, which connects the Mediterranean here in the Aegean Sea to the Sea of Marmara, which also borders this province here. The Sea of Marmara leads past Istanbul through the Bosporus Strait into the Black Sea. Very famous waterway connecting these two large bodies of water. And Chanakali is right there alongside it. This was known during ancient times as the Hellespont, so you might hear referred to that sometimes. There are also two islands that are part of Chanakali province. They are, and I'm probably going to mispronounce these, Bozada and Gökçeada. This being the Gallipoli Peninsula, we'll talk a lot about the famous Battle of Gallipoli during World War I. But there is also another very famous battle fought here, and that would be the Battle of Troy. You can see the archaeological site right there. And it's a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Let me grab a tablet, slide it up here, make sure you can see archaeological site of Troy. Troy, with its 4,000 years of history, is one of the most famous archaeological sites in the world. The first excavations at the site were undertaken by the famous archaeologist Heinrich Schliemann in 1870. In scientific terms, its extensive remains are the most significant demonstration of the first contact between the civilizations of Anatolia and the Mediterranean world. Moreover, the siege of Troy by Spartan and Achaean warriors from Greece in the 13th or 12th century BCE, immortalized by Homer in the Iliad, has inspired great creative artists throughout the world ever since. And of course, we're going to look at these on Google Earth, this site here. It's pretty neat, because before its discovery, we weren't sure if the story of the Battle of Troy was even real, right? Because it was part of the Iliad and the Odyssey, but mentioned in the Iliad in detail about this great battle. So let's talk about it in history first. Let's cover that. In ancient times, this area was known as Troad or Troas, and it was inhabited by the Greeks. Ancient Greeks, right? So there's the city of Troy on Troyes. And the great battle, according to Homer, was over Helen being kidnapped. She was the most beautiful woman in the world. And the Spartan warriors coming to retrieve her. Of course, according to legend, when the Spartans retreated, they thought of a plan to build a giant wooden horse and to hide inside of it and to camp out and say, hey, we surrender, we're leaving, but we're going to leave you this big old horse as a present. And the city of Troy brought the horse in, thinking it's pretty neat, giant horse. And then, of course, at night, all the soldiers came out and attacked the city and burned it down. That part is probably most likely not true. But the story of the Trojan horse is like iconic throughout history. So the battle was probably real. The horse, not so much, right? But like I said, for the longest time, we weren't even sure if the city was real, if the battle was real, so on and so forth, until the ruins were discovered in, what was it, 18 something or other, like 1840 something. I found out that Troy was a real city that was at some point attacked and demolished. So we can assume that the Battle of Troy, even though the story's premise, the reason for the battle, and the Trojan horse story is probably all made up just to make the story fancy in the Iliad. The city was real and was based on a true event of the city being sieged. Like most of Turkey, many different peoples lived in this area. The Hittites would take over, followed by the Persians, most famously of the Achaemenid Empire, which was conquered by Alexander the Great. Actually, Alexander's first battle against the Achaemenids, the Battle of the Granicus, was fought, it was like somewhere around here, in the year 334 BCE, his first battle against the Persians, which was, of course, victorious, because Alexander won every single battle that he fought. Over time, it would wind up becoming part of the Roman Empire, which would fall into the Byzantine Empire, since Constantinople, Byzantium, so on and so forth, was not too far off, which of course was conquered by the Ottoman Empire. The Ottomans built a big old fortress here in Chanakali, which we'll look at on Google Earth. The city later became known for its pottery. The name Chanakali, I don't know Turkish, but evidently it's the combination of pot and fortress. So like pottery fort is where Chanakali comes from. So this area is famous for the ancient Battle of Troy and the much more modern Battle of Gallipoli. The Gallipoli campaign was fought in World War I between the years 1914 and 1915. It was a long series of battles and sieges and such on this peninsula here. Most immortalized in Australia and New Zealand as Anzac Day, which is celebrated every April 25th, since many Australian and Kiwi soldiers fought in the battles there. Very, very long slog, and I believe it was an eventual Ottoman victory, wasn't it? But something like 500,000 soldiers on both sides total lost their lives on this peninsula. So we'll hop over to Google Earth in a bit and see the various cemeteries and memorials all throughout this peninsula here. So I don't know if you can see, but the border I drew in is like up here. So all of this is part of Chanakali province. And all of this here. Oh, I didn't mention Assos. Can you see Assos right there? Another ancient Greek city. It's on the UNESCO tentative list. I hope it gets added eventually. We'll take a look at that on Google Earth too, but that's another Greek city from ancient Greek times. Most notably, in 2022, the Chanakali Bridge was built, connecting Anatolia to Thrace and the Gallipoli Peninsula. A big undertaking. It's a very long, very cool bridge. And that was really like the most interesting up-to-date news that I found about this province. Otherwise, it's pretty mountainous and hilly with lots of bits of farmland in between. It's very beautiful, but Anatolia is a beautiful little corner of the world, so of course it's lovely. We'll browse around on Google Earth, which I think we'll do now. That's pretty much it for the history that I have for you here. Let me switch gears up, turn out the lights, grab my tablet, and we'll explore this beautiful corner of the world on Google Earth. Here we are in Chanakali province. And let's of course start by zooming out so you can see exactly where we are in the world. So here is Turkey, and you can see its two main parts. This is Anatolia, and this is Thrace right here. Can you see? That's Thrace. So this is Europe. This is Asia. Pretty neat. course, we are right between the Mediterranean Sea, there's the Aegean Sea, and the Black Sea up here. Pretty easy to spot on a globe, Turkey, and Chanakali in particular, because you just have to look for this big peninsula there, the Gallipoli Peninsula. So let's start off by looking at the city of Chanakali. Here is the old fortress built by the Ottomans. Lots of cool cannons there. It's a very old-timey place. Whoa, that's a big thing. Looks like a spaceship crashed or something. I'm not sure what that is. Someone will tell me in the comments for sure. Big old anchor, look at that. Oh, my ear itches, 1 second. Okay. Alright. Big old pow-pows there. Oh my gosh. Okay. I might hear that in a second. We got, it's not a new clock. It's my brother-in-law's grandmother's old clock, and it chimes every 15 minutes and does the bongs on the hour. So if you can hear it, you guys gotta let me know if it picks up on the mic. Because it's not loud, but it's loud enough that it might interfere with filming, you know. Look at these cool outfits. Traditional costume there. Pretty neat. Ottoman warriors, probably. Look at that little Turkish flag there on the can. Cool. That would be a fun place to tour, I think. Lots and lots of history there, defending this area, this very important area, which I'm sure needed lots of defense to control the shipping here within the Dardanelles. Also over here, we can find the Trojan horse. Now, of course, this isn't the real Trojan horse. This was built for the movie Troy, which I heard was not great. Brad Pitt and Orlando Bloom, I think. But they left the prop here. So you can see the old Trojan horse. It's very, intense looking, right? It doesn't really look like a horse. Like, they tried to make it look really cool. There's lots of neat old Troy stuff here. You can see what the city once looked like. But we're going to go look at the real deal in a little bit. I guess if you couldn't make it out to the site, you can come to this area here by the water and see all of the cool things on display. There's a big memorial across the way. There's lots of memorials over there. But yeah, big old, you can see him poking out there. Big old Trojan horse. But yeah, if you saw this, would you be like, cool horse? It would be like a cool xenomorph horse. Like, it's really kind of eerie. But there's another Trojan horse replica at the actual site, which looks more like how I would imagine it. Let's just look at the city slideshow here so you can get a good overview of what it looks like. You can see lots of the fort and the horse there, and some memorials, but I'm not sure if those are here or across the way. Big old clock tower there. I could show you that slideshow. It's somewhere over here. Oh, I don't remember where it is. I don't remember where it is. It's somewhere over here. Maybe it's this. Hey. I did remember. Big old cool clock tower, which of course were important little spots back in the day, little gathering points. You can see all the shops around it, the boats in the water, beautiful little homes there, all compact, the eerie xenomorph horrors. Yeah, it's a nice little city. See a big old shipping container boat there coming through, shipping between the Black Sea and the Mediterranean. And tour boats too, by the looks of it. Pretty neat. A little busy, bustling seaside city. Let's hop over to Troy. That's what we're all here for. So this is the modern city, and here is the ancient city. At least what we found of it, right? Let's take a look around. There's lots of pictures here. The city that once was. And yeah, there's evidence that it was like bombarded and attacked and destroyed. So there was a battle here of some kind. The city was abandoned. Here's the more modern horse. Definitely what I picture when I picture the Trojan horse. But this one's a little bit more obvious that it's a trap because there's like windows and a little hut there. It's a little bit more obvious that there's people inside of it, right? I would imagine like this horsey face on the other horse would have been like a better Trojan horse, I think. There's some cool pottery there. Lots of plants growing between all of the ruins here. Pretty amazing. There's all kinds of slideshows here. Let's pick one more to look at. As always, I highly encourage you to, let's look at this Ciudad Histórica. It's in Spanish, in Turkey. I always encourage you to poke around these areas yourself on Google Earth. It's a free app, and it's a great way to kill time and find little treasures and things around the world. A free way to travel. Highly recommended. You could go up in the Trojan horse. That's pretty neat. Gosh, it looks like it's made of like aluminum or something. Looks like it would be hot in there. Maybe that's why they have so many windows. There's a friendly squirrel. Lots of them, apparently. All around the site here. What once was this ancient city. Oh, there's a museum. Let's see what's in the Troy Museum. Oops. Wow. Stop. I want to look. Please? Thank you. That's really neat. I don't know what it is, but it's neat. Lots of pictures of stuff we already saw. Oh, but cool statues. That's really neat. That would be a cool find in this site. Wow, all the detail there. It looks like a tomb. A big old horse. Look at its tail. Looks like a horn or something. Yeah, pretty sure the horse story was made up by Homer. But we'll never know. It could be 100% true for all we know. Oh, is that a better Troy Museum slideshow? Troy Museum, here we go. It's a big old box. Look at that, looks like a shipping container. There we go, see more artifacts from this place. Ew, it's scary. It's a creepy man there. Look at all the rubble. Wow, I wonder what this one's was. Lots of pieces of statues. Lots of pottery. Jewelry, that's really cool. Wow, look at this tablet all smashed up. Tablet. That doesn't say anything other than tablet. Oh, treaty between Muwatalli and Alexander. Okay. It was a treaty. Cool statues there. And more, let's say flower crowns, so garlands, wreaths, laurel wreaths, gold laurel wreaths there for your head. I'll show you Assos as well. Way down here. It is near, let me zoom out a bit. I don't remember where it is. I think it's over here. It'll pop up, I'm sure. Assos. There's a lot of things around it that says Assos. There's a Temple of Zeus. See, Assos camping. We're nearby. This must be it. Let's see. Yeah, there's a bunch of stuff up here. Let's see what this is. Zeus altar. Is that what that means? Oh yeah, look at. Lots of cool ruins. Zeus altar. Nailed it. It's neat up here. What else is up there? There here. Kind of. Those are like the same pictures almost. Let's see. Let's find Assos. What's this museum? Whoa. I don't know what a Zeytinyağı museum is. What do you think that is? Oh, cool pottery. Very neat. We might come back to that. See, there's Assos camping. Assos camping. Assos camping. We're gonna find it. It's over here somewhere. There's the Assos Hotel. We're gonna find it. It's somewhere over here. More Assos Hotel. Let's find it. Garden, the Wall of Whales. Someone's playing loud music outside. I hope you can't hear that. I think it's someone driving by. I think we were on the right track over here. I don't know. Because it will say Assos. Let's just type it in. A-S-S-O-S. Let's see how far off we are. Oh, see, we were pretty close. It was over here. Assos Necropolis over here. Now we're talking. Let's look at this one. Assos Ancient City. Oh, wow. There's a little reconstruction of one of the temples there. I think that was the Temple of Artemis, I believe. I'll take a look at it. There we go. Big columns there. Oh, this guy's a little extra. Big areas of what was once this thriving ancient Greek city. I wonder what happened to this city. I could probably look it up, but I didn't. I'm sure someone will tell me in the comments. I always appreciate your comments going a little bit in depth, more in depth from what I explain. A temple of, it was Athena, my bad, not Artemis, Temple of Athena. I think there was a temple to Artemis in Troy, maybe. Oh, that's what it once looked like. Pretty epic. Now it looks like this. Isn't that so interesting? Makes you wonder what the places we live in now will look like in 2,000 years, 3,000 years. I don't know, it's a little eerie, isn't it? Got this gorgeous view of the Mediterranean. Pretty neat. Yeah, this isn't a UNESCO site, but it's on the tentative list. Really should be. There's a big theater there, can you see? What once was a big, thriving town along the sea now looks like this. What's that? Let's take a peek. One more slideshow here. There's a little lizard friend there. Wow. Pretty amazing, isn't it? Nice shot of the water there. West Church, it says. Very neat. See, the city was not as old as Troy was when it was abandoned. What's this? Oh, looks all overgrown. But some more ruins here by the looks of it. Roman ruins, not Greek. Alright. Oh, we gotta go look at Gallipoli next. If you do poke around here, you'll see all around. I want to see what this is. Neandria. I wonder if it's like cave art. Oh no, it's more cool ruins. Look at that. Very cool. If you poke around here, you'll find all kinds of World War I leftovers, like big boomers, big guns and stuff. but I think we're just gonna hop over to Gallipoli since we're right here. Let's start over here at the very tip here. The Martyrs Cemetery and Memorial. So yeah, lots of, oh, look at the trench there. Lots of people lost their lives here, so there were lots of cemeteries there. Big cannons, little big diagrams showing the various battles. And very constructed little dugouts there. There's the cemetery and old fortress walls as well. And there's the main memorial, which I think is it this one? Yeah, it's this one. Commemorating the service. See, there's the clock. Can you hear that? Okay. Let me know if it's too much, and we'll figure out a way to stop it. But this is like the main memorial for the Turkish soldiers, and the graves there of the fallen soldiers. There's like memorials for pretty much every country who lost soldiers here, all throughout this area. Of course, the most famous being the Anzac. But we're going to look at other stuff as we go closer to Anzac. This is pretty neat. This is I'm guessing like a hospital museum. World War I hospital. See, they have mannequins here depicting what life was like in these hospitals on the front lines. This guy got an amputation by the looks of it. It's unfortunate. Lots of equipment, surgery areas, trenches, wounded and beyond wounded, if you know what I mean. Looks like a little bassinet right there. Yeah, it looks like a little baby. What's that baby doing? That's pretty neat, isn't it? One of the aspects of war that I think gets overlooked, doesn't it? Let's go up. To Anzac Beach, or Anzac Cove, I think. This is the memorial here with a quote from Ataturk on it. I'm not going to read it. I'd have to lean in close. But it's a nice dedication there to these soldiers. There's an Australian soldier. The big memorial here, this place. Wow, look at all those along the beach. Anzac Cove, that's what I was looking for. There's also Lone Pine, which commemorates the Battle of Lone Pine in August 1915. There it is. And all of the graves here as well. It's very solemn, isn't it? But this whole area, like I said, is just, you can see them all there. All different kinds of memorials, all along this farmland here. Must be kind of eerie to run a farm at a place around all of this like loss and commemorative statues and soldiers' graves and things. But this is like the main memorial here. Surprised this isn't a UNESCO site either. I think over here we can see some weaponry. Yeah, there's a big cannon. They're sitting on the cannon. And more statues and big cannon there. The statues climbing up, but commemorating this place. But yeah, all throughout, of course, as always, I highly recommend going around yourself and finding some various sites. Then appears the actual city of Gallipoli, which is not how you say it in Turkish. Let's take a look. Gallipoli, that's how you say it in Turkish. But it's a beautiful little seaside. Oops, we crashed. 1 second. Pause. There we go. A beautiful little seaside town. And it's so pretty in sunset. It's almost like you can hear all the little sights and sounds and smells. I bet it smells like ocean. Yeah, lots of pictures of all the various memorials here as well. Very nice, isn't it? Here's the big bridge. It looks like the Golden Gate Bridge, doesn't it? We don't have to check it out. It's a bridge. But yeah, you can see from above all of the greenery and hills and such. Mountains. Anatolia is a pretty mountainous place. Let's see if we can find... I didn't really find a lot of slideshows in the interior. And of course, I find one immediately. Not a lot of pictures though, but looks like they're planting new trees there. Let's see if this has any pictures. Oh yeah. Of course we find lots of pictures. Look how pretty. And big rolling hills, all lush and green. Those bees. I think those are bee boxes. Lovely. It's really pretty in Anatolia. Up here along the Sea of Marmara, I feel like I found some cool stuff up here. At least some beaches, right? I found this ancient site when I was poking around. Not much left of it, but what's around is pretty neat. All these eroded arches and columns, the brick walls there, facing the sea. But let's see. What if this is anything? I think that's a beach. I think we'll end it here, to be honest. Otherwise, we're just going to stare at trees and things. We'll end it here on this beach. But thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this style of content, please consider subscribing. Next, and again, whoever can guess this next question will get their comment pinned on this video. The next place we're going in this series is a place that predominantly produces Panama hats, but it's not in Panama. Can you guess which country we're going to next? It's not Panama, but the main city in this area we're going to, their biggest export is Panama hats. Can you guess the country? Also, please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. If you're still awake, hit that thumbs up right now. And let me know all your thoughts down below in the comments. I hope that you found this video to be relaxing and educational. Look at these waves, how gorgeous. And I hope that you have a good night. Good night. Good night. Oh, we didn't look at the islands over here. Wait. Slideshows weren't amazing, but the islands are pretty nice. Let me show you this one over here. I completely forgot, but I knew it. I was like, what am I forgetting? It was the islands. Let's look at this real